Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm joined with my son Daniel this morning.
Good morning.
He's part of the Notes Made at the Time team. We're up at Baitings Dam, top end of Ripondon on the A58, and I'll let Dan go through what his knowledge of these places are. So over to you, Daniel.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, so I see myself as a bit of an amateur historian, and I've always been interested in sort of like local history as well. So what we're going to go through today is sort of the background of dams like this and how they came about, and then dispel some of the myths. So yeah, this dam, from understanding they began constructing this dam in the late 1940s. And then the completion was, looking at the board there, between 1956 and 1957. The main reason for the dams to be constructed was obviously after the Second World War, the population increased, and due to that, there was a need for extra water. The reason why they chose these areas is a lot of these places were quite derelict and a bit out of the way. You know, there's a lot of rumours that there were villages underneath these. There were some, but it wasn't as dramatic as what people make out. I mean, these places were derelict. You know, there were no. A lot of people had moved out to go into the towns and cities. A lot of people who owned the houses. A lot of their family members had died in, say, the First World War, or even emigrated, you know. So yeah, we're just going to go through our list and go through bits of Baitings Dam. So as you can see down there, it looks like some foundations, and most of these foundations, from my understanding, were from like the billets, where the workers worked who were building the mills. Building the dam. Sorry. And you know, it's yeah, so it's real windy. Yeah, as you can tell, it's all that. So there's been many myths before of like people saying there were a village underneath and stuff like that, and there weren't really. There's a pack horse bridge over there. You can see the little. You can't see it at the moment in time because the water levels are a bit higher. There's a little dam there, but that was built in like the mid to late 1920s, and I think you've got another pack horse bridge further down at the bottom here. Once the levels are significantly lower, because I did a bit of a research on one of the old maps. So yeah, and like I say, when people are going swimming in these places as well, you've only got to look along there. You've got a lot of old little valleys and inlets there and stuff like that, and it's not really an ideal place to go swimming, as you can tell looking down here. I mean, there's so many depths and false depths and stuff like that, and different currents, and yeah.
Right, yep, we'll move on. We'll come back to you in a while. Yeah, we're about halfway across the dam wall now. If you're in the far distance there, you can see another dam, which is Ryburn Dam, which was built in the 30s. It's a bit more ornate than this one. You can see you can see over the wall there. Not very good with heights, and amazingly, I did an abseil down there a few years ago. It was for the Red Cross charity. I think it was the Calder Valley Search and Rescue team who jacked it all up, and we ended up doing an abseil down there for charity, which for me was a bit hair-raising. One of my pals was an ex-Irish Ranger, their special forces, and he just sort of hopped down as though he were, I don't know, walking down a bloody hillside. He just hopped down. It just looked like 4 or 5 steps and he was down on the bottom. I took a bit longer to do that. But it was enjoyable, at least I can say I did it. What did you mention earlier, Dan, about the water levels and?
Yeah, so I think, from my understanding, a lot of these, when you see these little inlets here, these little outcrop, like these little buildings, shall I say, then I think they have a lot of like gauges for the reservoir. I'm not an expert on that. I just know more of the history, bits of the history of the place. I mean, like I said, that was Ryburn Dam was built in the 1930s, and obviously with increased population, they needed a bigger dam, which was this dam. But to begin with, in the late 1930s, 1940s, Ryburn Dam was the bigger dam, and obviously the one what we saw, what you've seen on previous pictures there, that was a smaller dam. But round about this point down here, I'd say about this point, from looking at the map, this is where that footbridge is, which is, I think, a bit smaller to that. I'm not quite sure because I haven't seen pictures of it. But yeah, like I say, these places are quite hostile places to swim, really. So if people are wanting to go swimming in these places, I wouldn't really recommend it.
Yeah, because there's like cross currents, isn't there? And,
yeah, I mean, it's all
the surface water. If the weather's been kind to us, the weather's been nice and warm, the surface water will be quite warm. Not warm as in bath temperature warm, but underneath you'd only got to go a few feet underneath, and you'd be hit by the icy
cold
water, which should plunge you straight into shock. You take a few shock style type breaths, and well, that'd be the end of you. You'd be gulping down gallons of water, and that'd be it. That's your bit. We just mentioned about the valleys. You can see over this one towards Ryburn Dam. That's how the valley would have looked on the opposite side. As you can see, on the construction of this dam, there'd have been quite a lot of digging out and channeling for the water. But there's all inlets and things, and you can see where the normal water line is across there. And it is just so, well, you wouldn't have much chance really. And there's plenty of signs saying no swimming, but every year it seems to be a case where people do get into difficulties in these places.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it helps with a lot of the myths what have been portrayed about the place, you know, about these sort of like little villages with these romantic stories, and, you know, you're going to find lost city of Atlantis underneath you. It was very much, a lot of these places were pulled down anyway. I mean, especially people going about another reservoir over the hill, Scamenden. It had all been it had all been pretty much flattened out, because when they were flooding it, I mean, there was a sailing club there, and you used to
go sailing.
Yeah, when you were in the sea cadets, it's they planed a lot of it out, and I think there's a lot of, as you can tell, there's a lot of myths about the places and stuff. But
there is one in there. There's a myth about Hollingworth Lake. The church is still there, and this village, and every so often you can hear the bell ringing. It's just total bunkum. It's a nice story, I suppose.
Yeah,
a nice romantic sort of story. But
it's like I said, when you get people trying to explore these places and trying to find, and they end up getting stuck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I say, these places aren't swimming pools at the end of the day. They're industrial sites. You know, you wouldn't start tinkering about with bits of industrial equipment, and that's what a lot of this stuff is underneath here. It's all industrial pumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to go swimming in one.
No.
Especially this one. There's two, like I say, you can even see on this side here. I mean, you need to remember this is about a quarter full now. Yeah. You know, it's not, you know, it's about a quarter full. If you look at the other side, you've still got quite a lot in. And
you can see there at the edge of the dam and the land, there's been it's been gouged out due to the water pressure hitting into the dam wall.
Yeah.
So,
What's that old saying? What the water will make cowards of us all.
Sea makes cowards of us all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll carry on. We'll get back to you. We'll just do a bit more walking across here, and just do a bit more talking when we get to the other side. I just can't stop thinking about that young lad who was brutally attacked and murdered and thrown in here. You know, what a terrible end to his young life. So we'll get back to you. Yeah, we've crossed the dam wall now. We've landed on the other side. I'll just let you have a look at the size of this thing. You know, it looks like it reminds me of the side of an old battleship in dry dock. It must have been one hell of a construction. Yeah, so it is filling up. We were here a couple of days ago, and it is.
Hello.
It is a lot full of.
Yeah, who's this, please?
Right, we're back on again. We're a bit further down into the what is normally the dam. It's filling up nicely now, but this is normally underwater. And what we found is like the remains of it's like a dry stone wall with I can only imagine it's like a gateway into a field from times gone by. What's your thoughts on that, Dan?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a gate post. If you have a look on here,
you can see the wall going ahead, straight ahead from where Dan stood. Now it goes straight on towards probably towards the dam wall, really. But it is filling up. It's filling up nicely now. We've had quite a bit of rain, but obviously not enough to get it back to full potential. But you can see the water flowing in there. But it's quite an interesting place, quite a unique time to come and have a look down here, as long as you don't go too near the edge. We had a bit of a trek down there the other day, and I got one of my Wellingtons stuck. It's still quite muddy down there. But you can see obviously sort of remains of old farmland, which obviously what it was. In the far distance there you see the relatively new bridge, and beyond there is the old Packhorse Bridge, which is quite well photographed by other people. But we will be going on there. We're going to doing a bit of a trek across there, so we'll get back to you when we get a bit nearer. Yeah, looking across you can see the water filling up there. There's a bit of an inlet. That's what Dan mentioned earlier about currents and the way water works. It is quite dangerous to mess about with. But it seems like year on year there's more accidents. I think at one stage Calderdale did set up like a patrol system. They were asking for volunteers or asking for workers to work during the summer, visiting these sites and pointing out the dangers with a view to preventing some of them. But it's like every year somebody comes unstuck in there. So yeah, looking across again, you can see like I say, this is where we're walking now is normally underwater. There is some plant growth here due to it being drained off, and it's sort of going back to nature again, how it was before it became a dam. But it's just unbelievable that this, like I say, this here is probably under like 3 or 4 foot of water, probably deeper. But I suppose when the winter comes back, Dan, it'll be. What do you think?
Yeah,
How long do you think it'll take?
It'll probably mid-December, I think it'd fill up.
Yeah.
Probably.
It'd be
So
worth coming back, wouldn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
Just to
like
just
a
to see.
before and after type of thing.
Yeah. But it is like a bit of a rare phenomenon, really, because it doesn't do it every year. I mean, obviously we get dry summers and sort of
Well, the last
mild winters.
Yeah. Last time I saw it like this now was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is more dry stone walling separating the old fields. So yeah, I find it quite fascinating. But like I say, there's no romantic edge to it. There's farms underneath still intact, and
Yeah. I think someone wrote a story about it, and it was very sort of Catherine Cookson-ish and all this stuff, and they were just desolate places. I mean, a lot of them were welcomed when, like, Yorkshire Water bought them, or whatever water board bought them, because it was very desolate land, you know, and they were derelict. I mean, the buildings were derelict from, like I say, probably the early 20th century, and a lot of them weren't habited, and it's as you mentioned before, Dad, were them buildings at Queensbury. You know, they were empty for years and years. You know, and that, you know, so they're not really these sort of romantic places what people think that they're going to find lost city of Atlantis or something like that. A lot of the buildings in a lot of these reservoirs they were pulled down and levelled and stuff like that. You know, you're not going to see the old church bells ringing and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of them were pulled down. So yeah.
We're getting nearer to the bridge.
We've just got up here.
What we'll do, we'll
footpath.
We'll get back to you.
Oh.
Yeah, we just found this. It looks like there's been some form of landslide, underwater landslide.
Yeah.
You can see that the valley goes across there, and that looks like it's been gouged out by erosion, or it's just suddenly disappeared. But
well, that spike, what you can see in the water.
Yeah.
When we came last time, that's where the old dam was.
Oh.
So the water's increased considerably.
Yeah.
Because you could actually walk at the bottom of there before.
Yeah.
And it's all filled now.
Yeah. Yeah, we came up on what day was it? Was it
2 days ago?
2 days ago. And you could actually see the old, was it called an intake?
No, it wasn't an intake, it was the old dam.
Oh right, the old dam.
Yeah, so that was the old dam, that.
Yeah.
And that was built in the 1920s.
So that's going to be lost now for another half a dozen years or so.
Yeah.
I say it's nothing. It's nothing new, and it's not the first time that this place has got to such a level. It's just nature, I think. But we came up here, like I say, a few days ago, and
well, you could actually see the bottom of there, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could see the bottom of that.
So it's filling up very
filling up as days go by. Also, as we go a bit nearer to the other bridge, you can see where people have just dumped all the rubbish, all their old tyres and things like that. But that's that's disappearing under.
Yeah.
So
about in there where you saw the old baby, like the old car seat. There's no car seat in there.
Yeah.
So.
I found a better footpath here to walk along. Yeah, where's that car seat gone? Yeah, we came up the other day. We found in the bottom there were a car seat sticking up. So it is filling up nicely. we're still on a hosepipe ban round here, so it's not going to be a quick fix. A few days of rain. I think it's going to be a few months. Like Dan said, it's probably mid-December before it gets back to its usual depth. But it's quite strange walking around here, because like I say, we'll come back in a few months and it'll be full, and there's no way on earth you better walk under here.
No, I mean, like I said, when you get people jumping in, to emphasise the false depth. So where we're stood now would be, don't know, 20 foot of water.
Yeah.
In winter, if you look all the way down there, it goes considerably.
It'll just channel you down, won't it?
Yeah.
It's not as though it's being pumped. It's just the pressure of the water rushing through, and it does. I'll just go up here a bit. Yeah, and as you come up later on, this bridge, the bridge bits there, they'll be underwater. So it is something that's I think it's good to do really, if you're capable of getting here.
I mean, another idea, you know, with all this is it's at some point in time, if someone could take, as it's filled up or whatever, is if they can do a sort of like a thermal imaging photograph of it all, so people could see what's actually underneath instead of, you know.
As you can see in the distance there, that's the old Packhorse Bridge. That's often been photographed. We'll do a bit of a walk over there. Yeah. So there's the ubiquitous cones there that seem to appear from nowhere. Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe that when it is full, you can't actually see that bridge. It's just absolutely amazing, and you can see the water line where the normal water line is. And like I say, you won't be able to see this in normal circumstances, but here we are. Yeah, you can see like at the water line there. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yep, we're just coming over the bridge now. I'm looking back towards the dam wall. Oh, it sounds like I'm swearing. Yeah, you can see that due to the recent dry spell, the grass is coming back. You can see the old dry stone walling down there of years ago. We're almost at the end. That's even this will be underwater. So it is. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back, Dan.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
We'll have to come back and have another look. So, there we are. Another look at the old Packhorse Bridge.
I'll go up that way and then back along that way?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Go back over, or just to get the benefit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better on there. Probably get a decent image on there, Dad.
Yeah. I'd say it's an old packhorse bridge, but it has been tarmacked at some stage. Yeah. Just a fascinating bit of local history, really, which will be disappeared back under the water again until we get another drought. So
We'll go over there. It's quite easy. We can scramble over there. It's not much.
just get a view of myself with that in the background. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so it's a view of the packhorse. Great stuff. So, what do you think then, Dan?
Yeah.
Covered most of it today, so
Yeah. I think that's us.
we'll get this video on the Notes Made at the Time channel. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.
See you later.